Attention passionate Kansas City CHIFS fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Kansas City Chiefs' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Kansas City Chiefs fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Kansas City CHIFS FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. You can't talk about the NFL and the AFC West without keeping a close eye on what's happening in Miami. And lately, the Dolphins have been making waves, but not necessarily in the way they'd hoped. Recently, Miami made the controversial decision to part ways with two key players, cornerback Jalen Ramsey and tight end Jonnu Smith. Both of these moves have sent shockwaves through the league, especially among Dolphins fans, but it's the reasons behind these trades that are really grabbing everyone's attention. Jalen Ramsey, an all-pro cornerback, was acquired by Miami with high expectations. The Dolphins invested heavily in him, hoping he'd be a cornerstone for their secondary and a piece that could help their defense become one of the league's elite. But as it often happens in the NFL, things didn't go as smoothly as planned. Reports have surfaced about disagreements between Ramsey and the Dolphins' coaching staff, and these clashes apparently reached a point where Miami decided that parting ways was the best option. It's a move that's left many wondering what exactly went wrong. Was it a clash of personalities, scheme fit, or perhaps a difference in vision for the team? Whatever the reason, Ramsey is now on the market, and the Dolphins have taken a significant hit to their defense as a result. And then there's Jonnu Smith, the talented tight end who's been caught in a contract dispute. Smith, who's known for his athleticism and ability to make plays down the field, was expected to be a key component of Miami's offensive plans. But his contract negotiations evidently didn't go as planned, leading to his departure. The Dolphins, in their attempt to reshape their roster and manage salary cap space, decided that parting with Smith was necessary. This has left the Dolphins with a somewhat unsettled tight end situation, which could impact their offensive rhythm moving forward. But amidst all this upheaval in Miami, one name keeps popping up, Tyreek Hill. And why wouldn't it? Hill, the electrifying wide receiver who's been a game-changer since he arrived in Kansas City, is still a hot topic of conversation. Despite the recent changes in Miami, Hill remains the most entertaining and beloved figure in that locker room, and his reaction to the trade news has only fueled the speculation among Chiefs fans. Hill, who's always been outspoken and unfiltered on social media, posted a meme from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, showing Will Smith standing in an empty house during the final episode, with the caption about feeling lonely. He also added a crying face emoji, which many interpret as a sign of his disappointment over losing Ramsey and Smith. Now, it's important to clarify, this doesn't necessarily mean that Tyreek Hill is angling for a way out of Miami. But the way he responded, with that nostalgic, almost sentimental post, has fans thinking. It's natural for Chiefs fans to see that and wonder, could Hill be hinting at a desire to return home? The idea of bringing Tyreek back to Kansas City has been a recurring topic among fans for some time, especially after his spectacular first few seasons with the Chiefs, where he established himself as one of the most dangerous receivers in the league. His speed, route running, and ability to stretch the field transformed the Chiefs' offense into one of the most explosive units in NFL history. And now, with Miami making these roster adjustments, the whispers are getting louder. Some fans are even joking that it might be time to come home, as one enthusiastic supporter put it. Others are more playful, suggesting that Hill might consider taking a pay cut and rejoining the Chiefs on a veteran minimum deal just to chase another Super Bowl ring. It's a romantic notion, no doubt, and it's fueled by social media buzz and some oddsmaker hints. In fact, DraftKings Sportsbook recently floated the idea that maybe it's time to go back where it all started, with a thinking emoji indicating that maybe Hill's story isn't finished in Kansas City after all. But let's be real, bringing Tyreek Hill back to Kansas City isn't as simple as just waving a magic wand. The Chiefs, as much as they'd love to reunite with their former star, are limited by salary cap constraints. Hill's cap hit for this year is around $27 million, which is a significant chunk of the team's roughly $10 million remaining cap space. So, a reunion would require some creative salary cap maneuvering, maybe restructuring contracts, or making some tough decisions elsewhere on the roster. The Chiefs have other priorities right now, especially with some key extensions looming, notably for offensive guard Trey Smith, who's been outstanding and is expected to land a huge contract soon. And speaking of the offense, Kansas City's weaponry is actually looking quite promising. Patrick Mahomes, the reigning MVP, has a wealth of talent at his disposal. We're talking about the young receiver Xavier Worthy, who's shown flashes of being a deep threat, Hollywood Brown, who's got the speed and route running to stretch defenses, and Rashee Rice, a rookie out of SMU with the potential to develop into a reliable target. These players, if they stay healthy, could form one of the league's most explosive trios, giving Mahomes yet another arsenal of weapons to work with. And let's not forget about the offensive line, which has been solid and is expected to continue protecting Mahomes at a high level. All of this points to one clear goal for the Chiefs, adding another Lombardi trophy to their case. The roster is built to contend, and the front office has shown resilience and smart decision-making in recent years. The Chiefs have been a model of consistency, making the playoffs every year since 2015 and winning Super Bowl LIV in 2020. And even though the NFL landscape is always shifting, teams rising, teams falling, the Chiefs have managed to stay at the top, thanks in large part to their coaching staff and Patrick Mahomes' brilliance. So what does all of this mean for the upcoming season? Well, it's shaping up to be another roller coaster ride. The AFC West is as competitive as ever, with the Raiders, Chargers, and Broncos all making moves to improve their squads. The Chiefs will need to be sharp, disciplined, and clever in their roster management, especially with the salary cap constraints and the need to develop young talent. But the core remains strong, and as long as Mahomes is under center, Kansas City will be in the conversation for another deep playoff run. The question is whether they'll make any more bold moves, perhaps a surprise signing or a trade that could shake things up. And speaking of trades, the recent Miami moves have certainly stirred the pot, raising questions about player movement, team strategies, and the future of some key stars in the league. The NFL is a league of constant change, and sometimes a single trade can have ripple effects far beyond what we expect. The Chiefs, with their rich history and fierce competitiveness, have always been adept at navigating these waters, whether it's drafting well, developing players, or making bold moves when the time is right. One thing is certain, the Kansas City Chiefs are not resting on their laurels. They're always looking ahead, rebuilding, retooling, and staying one step ahead of their rivals. The upcoming season promises excitement, unpredictability, and plenty of storylines to follow. Whether it's Mahomes' quest for another MVP, the emergence of new stars like Rashee Rice, or the possibility of a familiar face returning, like Tyreek Hill, the Chiefs continue to be a team that captures the imagination of fans across the league. And now, Kansas City Chiefs fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all these recent developments? Do you think a Tyreek reunion is possible or even desirable? Or are you more focused on the existing squad and their prospects? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us, and it's what makes this community special. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, insider news, and analysis, so stay tuned for the latest Kansas City Chiefs news. We're in this together, and the best is yet to come for our beloved team.